about the totality of the situation and circumstances surrounding it. Right? There's so much that goes into using officer discretion when it comes to pushing charges.
And I mean, I'll go ahead.
Go ahead. No. You go ahead, McNulty.
I will say, and I will say this with no shame whatsoever. I've had people where it's like, this guy has so many charges. I'm a very compassionate man. As much as a hard ass I can be, I'm very much a softie. There are times where I'm like, this guy is getting pounded in every hole he has. I personally, this is just a little charge. I'm just gonna drop this shit. 100% he's done it. I'm just gonna drop it. Just from the sense of like, he doesn't deserve this. He's been compliant. He's been respectful. He's been kind. He doesn't deserve this. In that same regard, I have had people treat me like absolute garbage. Like I am a trash person that is destroying their day, but I will still treat them with the same respect and compassion. Or I will ruin their day.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're a better man than me. I will.
Yeah. There are days where I'm just like, you know what? I am going to push every charge I come across.
On those petty days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got some petty days.
Yeah, I have petty days. I have petty days. I have very compassionate days. But then it's just like, I'm going to give this person every traffic light, every littering citation, every ticket I possibly can, just because they're pissing me off.
Go ahead, Rhodes. You have a question or you have an answer?
No, I got a couple questions. So
hold on. Before you ask your question, sorry, I do apologize.
No, you're good.
Clues, did that answer most of your question, or most of you looking for? Or do you want more answers from the?
I have another thing just to add on to Cletus. I think as it comes to like another thing with that is, if you just get a second opinion, just hear somebody else's opinion on it and see what they think. It doesn't hurt at all.
I think it answers part of it. I just want people to feel comfortable as far as knowing that they can choose not to push a charge. I think McNulty did a good job of explaining that. But yeah, because I see a lot of shit myself, especially whenever I was lawyering for a week there, where people will try and push some shit, and it's like that does not apply, or that this doesn't work out in this situation. And a lot of the things that we talk about here when we're talking about making sure we don't lose the city and making sure that we're treating people right, people first, all that shit, that's the kind of stuff that gets around, right? When we're not if we give somebody a assault with a deadly charge for stabbing a local. I heard something like that happen not too long ago, which to me is a major failure on our front. That should never happen. They stabbed a local because they were getting attacked as well. They were self-defense. So just some shit like that. Don't look at everything like, oh, these are the charges. I have to charge them all. That's basically what I was looking for. So I just appreciate compassion.
I think something very important to keep in mind too, and I'm sure you all know, statute of limitation 30 days. Now, it shouldn't be your default when you're not certain on charges, right? You shouldn't be pushing a charge first of all if you're not certain on the charge. If you don't feel you have grounds to push a charge, don't push it. In fact, I implore you not to push it. If you're not confident in your charges, if you're not willing to get up in the court of law and justify why somebody's getting a charge, and you have your PC, right? You have your PC ready to present. If it's not strong enough, don't push a charge. Mm-hmm. Don't push any charge in a situation if you have to further investigate it, and you can come back to it, right? I just want to make sure that's not going to get out of hand, though, and people start pushing things to the side as well. But it's definitely something you can exercise.
Good answer.
And I think kind of you did say this as well, but I think it is something to keep in mind. It is important. Like, I could use an example. I had a fella first few days in the city. He bumped into my car. I pulled him over. His car kind of matched the description of a car that just got away. Other units came, wanted to verify if it was the same car. He takes off because he's scared. About a minute into the chase, he surrenders, right? I could have hit him with reckless evading, could have hit him with a few extra charges. I dropped it all down to evading, dropped misuse of a rental entirely, and I spoke to him about the laws. I spoke to him about everything. He was brand new to the city. Spoke to him about all the laws, spoke to him about how he can approach police, etc., and let him serve the time in the cell. We can work with folk. should be working with folk.
Going what? Is this about the same question?
No, actually, let Rhodes go because Rhodes had a question.
bounce back and forth.
Go for Rhodes.
So if the mayor tells us to do something, do we have to per legislation? Is he our direct superior?
Yeah, if he uses executive order, absolutely, he's absolute. He's our bosses right now.
So if you as a captain tell me to do something and the mayor directly states to do something else, what do we do?
You listen to the mayor.
Okay.
Until a commissioner is appointed.
I would say, depending what it is, at least
don't
let us
break the
know
law.
that we're being overwritten as
Yeah.
well, right? Because if we're expecting you to do something, right, we expect you to do that, whatever that case may be, right? Just let us know that the mayor said, hey, we're going to do it this way. So we're not expecting it to be done, whatever the situation may be.
To clarify that, Rhodes, can you like give an example in what regard? Like if he asks you to what, drop charges on someone, or
I don't know. If I'm on a scene and Slacks is telling me to arrest somebody and the mayor is saying don't, who do I listen to?
If there's probable cause, I would go with it, obviously. As long as you're operating within the bounds of law, nobody can stop you.
that is pretty much what I was going to say. That's like Rhodes. It's like officer discretion, right?
But
if I watch someone get stabbed, I'm arresting them whether I'm told or not to.
correct. But my issue sort of stems from if I'm lacking that information, right? If I hear a captain tell me, a captain who deals with, the general concept of PC and whatnot on a daily basis, captain tells me to arrest somebody. I'm not going to second guess that. I'm going to arrest somebody, and I'm going to have a conversation with the captain who told me to do that. We can properly justify it.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I do that with somebody who has not necessarily been in the police department and may not know the inner workings of how all of that
Well, I mean,
goes?
my take on that is much like if someone on scene is like, that guy stabbed me, arrest him. Just because the mayor is basically telling you to do that, you do your due diligence as an officer of the law and investigate it. But that's kind of the way I see it.
I doubt something like that would happen. He did say shoot today, that suspect, and we all shot. But the person just to detect the first lady. But
I mean, she deserved it. I mean, that bitch was crazy.
she was getting shot anyways.
Siobhan deserved it? What the hell?
No,
the lady got shot.
Can we
Hold
get
on,
context on
no.
this?
Oh, right.
I want to make it clear.
Are you
I
talking
did say
Siobhan
that
or
bitch
me?
deserved it. I did not
Bell
mean...
got hit as well. Bell, I'm glad you're okay too.
Yeah, I did not mean Siobhan was crazy when I said
My take on that is, didn't the PD shoot
deserved
someone who stabbed someone?
No, we're gonna shoot anyways. But he was also telling us to shoot too as well. I told him we're gonna definitely just deploy deadly force. But
Shoot anyways. I like that.
No.
I think Tennessee v. Garner told you to shoot.
Going back to what you were saying there, Rhodes,
I don't.
if you're ordered by the mayor to arrest someone, I believe you need to still conduct an investigation. As law enforcement, we still need to ensure that a crime has taken place and probable cause is present for it, not just to blindly make an arrest, right?
right, because I got in your face in court if that's the case, right?
I think another, I guess maybe, and if anyone has any disagreements on this, let me know. In a circumstance where the mayor says arrest somebody, and maybe you don't have the full context, but possibly something happened. I mean, I don't think it hurts to ask the mayor after the fact, even if it's to hold them for a minute and pull the mayor aside. Hey, what is your probable cause? Do you have something? Still conduct an investigation. But if he has something to provide, great. If he has nothing to provide, I feel like that should hold weight.
I should maybe rephrase the arrest portion. Maybe instead of arrest, maybe we utilize a situation in which he does say shoot somebody, right? Because he's saying it in the capacity as a superior, though technically not within her chain of command, which is a little iffy. But right, that sort of prompts like an immediate response, right? He's telling me to shoot somebody. He's essentially saying there is enough justification to shoot somebody. Do we shoot them?
You are responsible for every bullet coming out of your gun.
Well, Rhodes,
you need to be able to look at a situation. You need to be able to look at a situation.
I don't agree with this.
And be able to assess it if there is a threat to life.
the only time you should not follow a chain of command is when you give an order to break the law. Committing murder, that is not following the chain of command. You are to go against it, and if you are to get disciplined for it, then obviously everybody will see your side of things, because if a superior officer telling you shoot the unarmed man and you know he's not a threat and what you're doing is murder, then do not shoot.
Right, but if that information's coming from another officer, right? I now have a good faith belief. You see the dangerous path this goes down?
I understand, but even a superior officer should not be telling you to, like, if a captain tells you shoot that man, and you don't even know why you're shooting the person you're shooting, and this person's unarmed and they don't pose any threat to you, and you shoot them. I mean, you're committing murder at that point, right?
I don't agree with.
I'm. No,
You're following an order.
It does not justify that, right? I mean,
the intent of you being above me in rank is that
I'm going to contradict.
I'm going to contradict
you. I'm going to contradict.
You should not follow a chain of command when it comes to breaking the law. That is my stance on it.
I get that, but to counter that, right? You arrive on scene, right? It's a 78th call. You have a superior officer. You're late to the scene. You arrive on scene. Let's say myself makes the call. We've got a call. Let's say I witnessed someone in all black open fire on officer, 78th call, right? Rhodes arrives late on scene, right? Nobody's shooting. I give the order to shoot. That is my responsibility, because Rhodes is acting off of my order. He is trusting me.
Oh, let's go through it. So what do you say on the radio? Shoot him?
Yeah, I'm going to say there's an individual on black fleeing, let's say southbound Alta, open fire. That's an order.
Is that fair? Because the description is kind of vague, unless you have more.
I get that,
right?
but he is operating off what I'm saying, because he is trusting me to make that correct call.
I understand
that is no longer on Rhodes. That call is on me.
I understand what you're saying, but I feel like a call like that would be very vague to where somebody else might get hurt as well.
Yeah, but let's say in the same regard, you put the mayor in that position where he arrives late and he says that guy just fled, arrives on scene, and he gives Rhodes the order to open fire. And Rhodes opened fire.
Okay, let me ask you, this goes to court, and it turns out you shot somebody that is completely bystander, has nothing to do with it, just some asshole wearing all black and a black Seminole going down the south, south on Alta.
Both of them, in that regard, chances are going to be held responsible. But in a scene thing, I don't believe Rhodes will be held accountable for something like that.
But Rhodes shot the gun, right?
I get that, but I am the one giving the order. He is operating off trusting me to be able to articulate probable cause to then
thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate it, BG. Thank you.
Open fire on that motherfucker and end his life.
Let me ask you this: you don't give any context as to wide open fire. Say you have additionals rolling up on scene, and you say shoot that black vehicle fleeing right now. Should the officers not?
I'm not asking additional questions. I'm following the order I was given.
Yes, I have. That has happened multiple times where I have given an order to open fire, and officers have done it. And I have told multiple officers, probably in this room, that if a scene lead gives an order to open fire, the scene lead is accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I would second this.
And that is where I stand. That is where I stand on the mayor shit as well.
Let me give you an example. It's me and the mayor. We're looking for somebody who hurt the first lady, Shaban. We find this person in a vehicle, and they're willing to surrender. And the mayor says, shoot that person. They're armed. What do I do?
Can we use a different example than Siobhan, since there's a little bit of
I mean,
a bias there?
I shoot Siobhan. I would. I'd shoot them both.
That happened today. That happened. She got attacked, and he said, shoot.
I would shoot the dog.
But, I mean, if the mayor tells me to shoot somebody who is willing to surrender, I'm going to just get that man to surrender.
Yeah, I think to counter that, my response would be, sir, put your fucking hands up, or we are going to open fire on you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, it's just.
And if he keeps fleeing, I'm operating on the assumption that he is a violent fleeing felon, and I'm going to case law his ass with a 9mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, does the mayor know case law?
This is where the problem is, though.
I'm trying to point out with this question.
Yeah,
the level of
expertise.
No, just the very problematic aspect.
Correct.
Somebody not in the police department being the supervisor of the police department.
I'm hoping the mayor does not put you in that position.
Or would say I shoot the dog.
It's the dog question, yeah.
Well, Rhodes, you know what you should do as well? Yeah. You should go down to the mayor's office and lie to him about our case laws and recite them to him multiple times.
Well, hold on. To be fair, looking at the legislation, it's not that the mayor is in charge. The mayor and the deputy mayor are putting the name.
Lenny!
Howdy, Lenny. How are you doing, Lenny?
This is fucking insane.
Declan's here too. Howdy, y'all.
This
Well, you look
is-
at legislation. It's they're putting the name forward that's brought forth by the LSPD,
This is
right?
fucking-
And then, well, who's going to be overseeing it? Any sort of issues or whatnot? I mean, you have Malton, who I know some of y'all ain't familiar with Malton. Malton was like head honcho for a long time. Really, really damn good. So, I mean, I think pretty much anybody here who knows Malton can attest to that.
Okay, what are you saying, Cormac? Because it says moving forward, the mayor's office will act as immediate superior to the law enforcement department of Los Santos on all matters.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're going to sit around and micromanage all that shit. I mean, that'd probably be
that's
obnoxious.
not what I'm saying, but that's a question that's being proposed here right now. Is if this were to take place, how to handle it?
What would you do, right? What would you do if that happened?
If the mayor
that's
tells
a
me to shoot
wonderful
somebody,
show.
I'm probably going to shoot him. I'm just being honest.
Blindly, you're not gonna question at all.
No, but I'm saying it's probably going to, the end result will probably be me shooting their ass. Now, I mean, if they don't surrender or some other shit.
I don't think it's a black and white response. If he says shoot, you shoot. I think
Right,
you need to look at the
that's what I'm-
totality of
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
situation.
saying.
Is this guy running with a gun and you just heard shots fired? Do you have a reason to believe that this person just opened fire? Does he have a weapon in his hand? Does he pose a current threat? Right,
Rob, the fact he's a
there's
lawyer
things
doesn't
you have
mean
to ask
anything.
as a police officer.
Right.
Can I?
We're
open fire on
talking
this
about
person?
SOP
Should I?
and how
There's always
we
can I and then should I,
know to
right?
follow.
We're saying
Well, no,
is don't-
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What we're saying is don't black out and shoot. That's the most important thing, okay? Because if that happens, we're gonna be in big trouble.
I'd say do your due diligence as the steps that you would go through. Sir, put your fucking hands up. Put that weapon away. 1 second later, you do what you need to do.
I'm also gonna hope that the mayor isn't gonna be giving orders in the field to folks. I think 9 out of 10 times I'm gonna assume it's gonna be MRPD talking to folk. Like
we are doing hypotheticals here as well, so that's fine. Rhodes, is this a continuation from your question?
No, separate.
Okay. Carlwood, is this about this question?
Yeah, I want to show an
Okay.
example. This is some news camera footage that
Okay.
that
I opened
showcases
fire.
this from about 8 years ago. This is one of the first. Some of y'all may have seen this in the past.
Will it work though?
Oh, I remember this.
Hey, get the hell out of here right now! Get the hell out of here right now, or I'll shoot. Shoot him! Fire!
Oh my god!
You told that man to leave and gunned him down.
Well,
All right, let's get that down from up there. All right.
suspect down.
Did I hear someone scream, "Oh my god!" after he opened fire as well?
Well, I want to. I
What
want
was
to
he posing
clarify.
danger to you? Do you remember if he was he shooting? What
So
was your
here's
sensation?
what happened in that scenario was what happened in that scenario was there was I believe it was one of the first times I encountered one of the more prominent gangs in the city. And we ended
I
up
don't-
getting there in that alleyway.
I
and
don't
they had us all
disagree
surrounded,
though
people
with
coming in
Corwin
left and
shooting.
right.
He was given the word
We
to
had several
shoot.
officers down.
He's going off the order
Jack
of
Ridley,
a
which many of y'all
superior.
know became a clown.
That's now the
cab
superior's
wrangler
eye.
and whatnot.
Literally?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of folks there. On the radio, you hear Ziggy Bugs, who is Flop's husband.
G6 driver.
Yeah, Ziggy Bugs then commands me to shoot that guy. And I asked him, "What are you doing?" And I told him to get out of here because Ziggy Bugs was my commanding officer. I, pointed my M4A1 at the back of him while he's running away.
Put a bunch of
Like, and
5.56 in his back.
Yeah,
So-
put
so
a
let
bunch
me
of
ask you-
5.56 millimeter ammunition in his back.
So, what was the point of that video?
So the point of that video was Ziggy Bugs, who was the commanding officer in that situation, told me to shoot somebody because we had several people coming in and out of the scene causing problems. Officers were going down, and Ziggy and I think it was Aaron Bison as well on the radio, who told me to gun him down. So I said, "Shit, okay." So but the burning falls on them, just like McNulty said, because I remember that shit happened. They said, "Well, that ain't your fault. That's." If you're being told that by a commanding officer, that's on them.
Sorry, if whoever these people are, Mr. Bugs and Bison, who sounds like a dork, wanted you to shoot someone because they were just running back and forth.
in the
Well, I
scene.
mean, it turned out to be that way. I mean, he apparently he looked like one of the suspects, and
Yeah, see,
from a distance,
yeah.
right.
I would personally at that point I would look at that system and be like, yeah, no. If I then learned on the radio that if I heard someone on the radio just go, yeah, just fucking shoot that guy.
Well,
Yeah,
I didn't
no,
know.
that-
I came to the scene late.
What was the
yeah,
original question?
Right.
that guy, I would put his head on a fucking platter.
Repeat the question one more time, by the way, for folks who's just coming in right now.
Basically, Rose, just to summarize what you're saying, if you have a commanding officer tell you to shoot somebody, you shoot them. And if it's the mayor in that scenario, right? Because the mayor, according to that legislation, has
Superiority
jurisdiction over us, I guess.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, if a superior tells me to shoot somebody, there are no follow-up questions. Not unless I'm privy to information that would make it not make sense. However, if the mayor were to tell me to shoot something, I don't think I am without additional context.
Yeah. I would say do your due diligence there, or pretty much as much as you can on any scene. I obviously trust.
I'm surprised I'm the only person that feels that way. Honestly.
Well, I mean, also keep in mind,
Because
like
you
for
don't-
me,
you're a trained officer. You just don't black out following chain of command. That makes no sense.
Right,
Where are you
but,
training?
well-
Where everything you've been taught, does that go
Okay,
out the window?
Slacks.
I mean, the reason,
Right, but,
the reason
but,
why-
but like I trust
Respectfully-
McNulty, and if McNulty makes a call, I'm gonna follow McNulty's
Right.
call. I
But
trust him,
McNulty's
and
not there to see what you're seeing. You're his
Well,
eyes and ears, right?
but
Well,
if
no, but
I
look at
arrive
me
on-
in that
hang on.
scenario.
I think we're all intertwining these questions right now. One person's talking about mayor, one person's talking about a superior.
I'm talking about chain of
An
command.
officer.
I'm
Right.
talking about chain of command because the mayor is part of the chain of command now, right? I'm talking about if the chain of command gives you an order.
Not
right?
in our
To-
SOPs.
Yeah, SOP said we
yet.
can get disciplined for not following orders.
yeah, and then you get dabbed.
And then when
Again,
you get an
context.
SOP, because if you're given an order to break the law through a chain of command, you should not do it. I'm gonna tell you right
Okay,
now.
so but you keep saying break the law. We
Yeah.
are not
We
running
don't
under
know.
the. We have no
we just
malicious
arrived on
intent.
scene.
Gunning somebody down has nothing to do with something. Is murder.
Okay, look.
Simple
We're-
response. Do your due diligence.
Yeah,
With Slacks,
We're
I
not-
think
we're not
you're
talking-
misunderstanding.
Yeah,
it is not a. We're not referring to somebody who is likely an innocent civilian. We are referring to somebody who, let's say, in the case of McNulty, witnessed somebody do a crime, and then tells me to shoot them because I'm in pursuit of them.
Right. We're not talking about something as simple as I arrive
don't-
on scene
yeah.
and Matt Rhodes has somebody cuffed up against a wall and says, "Jackson, shoot him." We're not talking about a
I'm not saying
situation
that.
like that.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, let's say you get a vague description: Black Seminole, all black, shot a cop, gunman, and you see somebody matching that description, and you get
Why
an
is this
order
so
from the chain of
difficult to
command, shoot that
understand?
person. Are you gonna shoot?
Yeah, absolutely. At that point, I have a good faith belief that they're gonna hurt somebody or kill them. 100%, I'm gonna do it.
I mean,
I'm following my chain of command.
Yeah, I feel like I just want to clarify this, and the reason why that video is important, that video in particular is important, is because that
I don't
was
know why
me,
this
new
is-
to the city, new to policing here, and hearing my superior tell me to
how
do
long
that.
ago was this?
Oh, this is like 8 years ago.
Oh.
So
Got
so yeah. So this is me being brand new, and it was a situation that I think we got a lot of young folks in here. We got a few cadets and whatnot in here. So I think this hypothetical actually is good to talk about because I showed up to the scene late. There's I think 3 or 4 officers down in an alleyway. We're surrounded by people, and there's the suspects who committed the crime.
It doesn't make
Keep
sense to me
coming
that
in
we
and out
would
of the
just.
scene. And then I believe that guy
Oh my god!
looked like one of the suspects.
I don't
which
think
is
this
why
is that
Ziggy told me to
difficult.
shoot him because he thought
Chad,
I was
how-
the only
How do we
only
feel?
guy down there, and he's like, "Oh, this guy's gonna come up here and he's gonna stab the cadet or some shit."
We always
you know?
operated that
speculation.
if
That's
an
not facts.
order was made
Yeah,
by
well,
a
I mean, but
superior, you
he's my
follow
commanding
through that
officer.
order.
I understand
Right?
that.
He's my superior
Understand that.
officer.
But you can't communicate. Say this guy's unarmed. He's coming to me right now. What do I do? Right?
Yeah,
I,
but we didn't know.
I would
we didn't
hope
know
and
that
pray to
yet.
God our seniors and captains are better than that. No,
Well, again-
no
again,
offense
to
to
be
your
fair,
husband.
Well, to be fair, if he looked like one of the suspects, if he was dressed similarly, whatnot, and he runs into the scene when there's obviously officers down and gunshots fired, I that is weird as shit to run all the way to the point where he's at from
So
across the road and
It
Ziggy
is.
seeing him with
Don't get me
binoculars or
wrong,
whatever.
But is it worth killing that person or shooting that person?
In
Is it worth me risking my life sitting there
You have to articulate that. How is he a threat to you, though? How can you articulate that? How can you?
He might be a
call
threat
him-
to somebody else.
In
I mean,
that
that tends to be
situation, in
Gardner.
that situation, his back is turned and he's running the hell
I mean,
away.
he was no
Yeah,
longer a threat to me. He was no
correct,
longer a threat to me.
Correct.
However, right, if I show up to the scene,
Did I join
late
at a
and we
spicy
wanna talk
time?
about case law,
I'm
Tennessee v.
very-
Garner, right? It's not just about me; it's about others. So if Ziggy saw him prior, right, or whoever the superior officer is saw him prior, believes that he's still armed, and the fact that we have 3 or 4 other officers right next to me downed on the ground, then yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's plenty of suspicion. Now it's unfortunate, and obviously you don't want to do that. And I should have been using a class 2 firearm in that
Can
situation.
you remember? Was Ziggy reprimanded for that?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Oh.
I mean, I was green. I was green. Yeah, I like I said, I've done plenty of policing before, but not here in Los Santos. But I was real green.
I mean,
Cran, what do you
can-
got
if
back
I can
there?
if I can make a comparison,
Hmm.
if you're going on scene, I go on scene, I don't know anything that's going on. I don't have probable cause to arrest somebody, but my superior tells me to arrest somebody. I assume they have probable cause. How is that different than
That's a good point.
the gun situation? Just because it's
You're
taking
fine.
a life, or like where's that line?
I mean,
That's
it's
that.
applying lethal force, right? And there's a
Face
use of
can
force
it take?
matrix. How do we go from 1 to 4 or to 5?
Fucking hell.
Face can I take?
It's one command.
Thinking
Yeah.
critically.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think the point is,
How do we go
you
from
tell me,
verb? Go ahead.
you tell me to do something, I'm gonna do it.
Exactly.
I
The
understand that, but
expectation is-
what I'm telling you is you shouldn't black out and follow a chain of command and use that as a crutch to say, well, I follow the order. Like you still have training. You're a police officer. You went through all that. That is not.
Do you
go out
want
the
me to
window.
interrogate you before I put cuffs on somebody?
No, I mean,
I think there's
understand
a
what you're
bit of a
saying.
difference here in the words
The-
between trusting my officer and
There's some
following an
nuance.
order.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because also, I mean, here's the thing: if you let's say Slacks, you're in a scene and I'm there, and Slacks, you're like, hey, you gotta shoot that guy. You tell me that, and then I'm like, okay, I know that's not the guy. I know 100% for a fact when we're talking about like burden of proof. Well, I mean, let's say the burden of proof is on me at that point to then show that, hey, this is not the guy that you want me to shoot. You got the wrong guy, and then I will back that up. So, but my natural inclination is to say that, yeah, my superior officer tells me something, then yeah, I should trust him because I should trust the chain of command.
okay, let me ask you this. I approve a pit maneuver for a pit, right? And I said, go pick that person.
Yeah.
And then you're the person who's performing the pit. You're the person who's in primary. You're the person who's right behind the vehicle. But you see a lot of I don't know, folks walking on a pedestrian on the side, and maybe there's a parking lot. There's a gathering. What do you say?
Well,
Well,
I mean,
I'll pit when safe.
Yeah, that caveat, that order comes with a caveat of when safe. So it is our discretion at that point, right?
Right.
Correct.
Hold on. Caveat aside, if you were to tell me to shoot somebody, I understand that there are civilians in the area, but if they have a gun and they're actively shooting, for example, I'm not going to then not shoot them back. That would.
I understand what y'all saying.
there's a risk
I don't want you second
associated.
guessing the order. Because that creates a bigger problem than chain of command, right? That's one.
I just have a quick question. Who disagrees with who here? I just kind of got here.
so essentially, long story short, it's Rhodes is saying we're told to follow the chain of command, and if a superior tells you to do something, you should believe them. But then
I'm very
Slacks is
surprised.
saying you should not because you should be able to use your own discretion
Slacks'
as an
point
officer.
is no. Slacks' the point is you shouldn't follow an order if it's breaking the law.
Correct.
That's Slacks' point.
I didn't finish talking.
Our
but-
point is trusting a senior or a fellow officer that's a scene lead to be able to properly articulate whether or not you should open fire on somebody. But then it's also that where it's like if the mayor gives you an order to open fire, because technically they are a civilian, not an officer. I see that the way that I see that, I'm going to articulate that as whether or not it's the mayor, okay? They are not an officer of the law. They are a civilian. At the end of the day, they are a civilian. If the mayor is like, that person shot me, they give me a proper description, okay? I'm able to be like, yo, okay, chase that suspect down. Look for evidence of casings. I found casings. There's blood. Yeah, open fire on that car. Whether or not he's part of the chain of command, he's a civilian. He's not an officer of the law. He doesn't have a badge on his shoulder. You can articulate that with your brain, which I assume we all have, and that we can do. that's what I'm going to do going forward. And if anybody wants to adopt that, go ahead.
Is he our
Yeah.
boss?
Yeah, he's our boss right now. Yeah.
Oh,
I think what I'm trying to say is just don't follow orders blindly. Use your brain as well at the same time. That's all. That's what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to hear. I know about trust, and I fully trust everybody, and I hope you trust me as well. But at the same time, sometimes we make mistakes.
Wait, hold on. So the mayor is a part of the chain of command?
Yes.
He's absolute power.
let's kill him.
I'm gonna
Lenny.
reword that to
Oh,
oversight.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I see it as more of an oversight thing.
I see it as oversight. If he sees something
Can I ask
fucking
a
up,
question just as a purely I
Go
haven't
ahead.
asked anything. I've been listening. Do you guys really think the mayor is going to give an order for you to execute a fucking civilian? Don't we all, in good faith, understand the mayor's power over the PD is a purely administrative power?
that is
to
why I
organize
reverted
and
my
control
question
the
to being
PD
like, he's a
in an
civilian.
administrative way. The
That's
mayor's
why
never gonna
I
give you a
reverted
fucking
to being
order
like, at the end of the day,
execute
he's a
somebody.
civilian. He
What
doesn't
a
have a badge on
preposterous
his shoulder.
conversation.
Good take. Good take. Thank you, Owen.
Wait, didn't y'all start this
Wait, yeah,
by
wait,
answering and
wait, yeah,
stating he
wasn't-
did tell y'all to shoot
He
somebody?
didn't say shoot, but like I said, we're gonna shoot anyway, so we shot anyways.
Yeah, but you wouldn't listen to him. He's got administrative power over the PD. Is that even a question of whether he has literal power to order you to execute somebody?
Is it even clarified that way in legislation?
It's clarified that he's a superior to the Los Santos Police Department.
That's what it says in there.
I think the takeaway is he's a civilian, not an
Okay.
officer of the law. Do your due diligence. Work from there.
All right, next question.
Roads.
I have a question.
Go for it, Lenny.
No, you can't drive a Taurus.
No, well, first of all, someone's got to do these 37 Charlies. Also, so with this whole mayor thing, let's say hypothetically he tries to seize more power over our department. Perhaps it would be wise for us to form some sort of union, maybe even a militia, in order to protect our interests.
I
You want to unionize against the mayor?
Or militia, or you missed the militia.
I don't think
part.
Hang on.
I like militia
Hang on.
more.
How about we just nip this in the bud right now? No.
No
Yes,
union.
sir.
What?
On the militia or the union?
Both.
I don't want no blue flu in Los Santos. That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
I have
I'm
a
so
question.
I'm
Go ahead.
Go for it, Rhodes.
And then Declan
Um,
afterwards.
so when will we be getting sergeants and lieutenants?
Good question.
Very soon.
fuck.
For shift 2, I can tell you next week.
Yeah.
Most likely shift 3 as well.
I think we're just aiming for
Okay.
next week in general.
Is that for both sergeant and lieutenant, or just
Just sergeant.
Sergeant.
okay? Okay, all right. That's promising.
What about lieutenants?
Mm, I don't know if I have an exact time frame for that right now. To be honest, it's something we're actually going to be talking about after this meeting, specifically about promotions. We're going to be completely transparent.
What about
Declan, you had a
Grand
question?
Marshal?
Doesn't exist.
COs.
Oh, okay.
Declan, you had a question?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Just a response to the prior conversation. As a cadet, Will Medlin, son. As a cadet,
PPO.
I've been responding. No, as a cadet. I'm saying prior to being PPO. I responded to several scenes where officers instructed others to shoot upon arriving, and the hesitation and fact checking by other officers in order to verify that they were able to shoot actually caused more problems, caused more people to get injured and more danger. So I'd advocate for following the instructions the first time and then asking questions later.
How was the communication regarding that? I'm kind of curious. You remember, like, what was being told to shoot up on
It
arrival?
was very clearly stated over radio several times that a woman had stabbed someone and was actively fleeing in front of an officer who witnessed this from Senor Buns. The lady then held up a man at knife point on the street corner, stole a bike, and started pedaling away. Officers were ordered to shoot her if she didn't surrender. She didn't surrender. They didn't shoot. She then reversed direction, causing a crossfire. Officers then opened fire on her only after verifying all of this information 4 times over radio, and thus almost shot at Cornwood and I with bullets pinging off our car. The woman
Oh
then
shit!
was
Yeah, I
pinned
remember
off
that.
of her bicycle by Cornwood and I. She
What
was
the-
on the ground getting up, and I shot her, and then everyone was like, "Why are you shooting?"
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
So
Actually,
I'm just pointing out that
When was
all of
this?
this second,
When-
all of
yeah.
this second guessing and like hemming and hawing and let me evaluate for myself because I don't trust the chain of command is bullshit, and it can actually cause more danger than good.
I mean, I can definitely see that. It's about trust in here, right? We trust each other, right? And
That's a
Sorry,
180
sorry,
as to how
Seth,
this
go ahead.
started.
No, go ahead. I was-
What you guys
So-
told me to do.
Yep.
So, people know my take here about if I give an order to open fire, I can articulate the shit out of what I'm trying to do. As I would trust anybody here is, right? A concurrent problem that I'm seeing where it's like I will read a scene and be like, why?
You know
wasn't
what the problem
order,
is with this conversation is I
to
think
open
most of
fire
the
given?
seniors here
And I think
agree
it's
with
because,
this take.
and this is just, please tell me if I'm wrong.
I think this is going to hurt more than it's going to do good.
Articulating to open fire and potentially take someone's life is obviously a big choice. That is a scary choice to make. And if you fuck up and shoot someone, wrongfully so, you are going to be held responsible. You are going to be put in front of superior officers. Chances are you are going to be dapped for excessive force. And let's say that person dies, you are potentially facing charges for attempted murder because you wrongfully articulated shooting that. And that is a scary thing. And I think a lot of people on the force are afraid to make that choice. And I
Okay,
think
they shouldn't
even
be
when
in command positions, then
let me finish. That is why I think certain people that give that order, I've given the order to open fire a lot of the times because I know how to articulate it. I fucked up once, but that was because of a situation where I was robbed of my firearm and I stupidly chased down the person with a baton in my hand while they had no lethal in their hands, but I knew they were armed. That was a fuck up on my part. I have no shame in admitting that. But I think some people are afraid to make that call because they are afraid that if they fuck up. But one thing that I think people learn when they go through their training phase is Tennessee v. Garner. That is a case law that saves our ass and protects us as long as we are properly able to articulate it. Has someone been driving a fucking truck through the city at 90 miles per hour nonstop and we've attempted to pit it? Warn them. Do not be afraid to use your like OG policing to shoot someone. As long as you are properly able to articulate it, and you'll be fine. Just my word of advice, if you're opening fire, and after you open fire, can you stand in front of a judge and articulate that? If the answer is yes, open fire.
Justify shooting.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, you brought it up, but I was even going to say that situation where me and you opened fire on that truck. Like,
yeah,
that's one you brought up. Last resort, we tried every other way. It was the last resort. We used lethal. And then that son of a bitch jumped off a bridge.
Jumped off a bridge and then tried to sue us.
Yep.
You made me kill myself. He said.
Yeah. Yeah, a good example
yeah,
is
now I'm going to do crime forever.
We had a truck drive through the city at 90 miles per hour all over the place. We made a good faith effort. Spiking. No way we were pitting that thing. It had a trailer on the back that hit a pole and blew up.
Yeah.
And then we were like, yeah, we're opening fire on this thing because we have made every good faith attempt to end this pursuit without lethal means. Then this guy pulls up to Mirror and Terminal Overpass, gets out of the cab after Aldo opens fire, and jumps off the top of the bridge and into the water, and then tries to sue us because we can't find him in the water and we are causing bodily harm.
Yeah. Yep.
Was he one of these fish people that had gills and lived in the water for 20 minutes?
Yeah, he jumped off the Miriam Turner overpass and then tried to blame us for damages. And lo and behold,
that was
I'm not seeing any court case.
Peters?
Yep.
Yep.
I shot a single shot, caught him on his shoulder, then he jumped off the bridge and bled it out in the water.
And the reason there's no court case is because I can articulate the hell out of opening fire.
Yep.
And if anybody's
Good shit,
afraid to
although.
do that,
I know Rami came down. He was a lawyer also. Tried to inquire about that. And I explained to him
Hey.
what happened, and he was good with it too as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, if anybody
Totally.
is feels like they're unable to articulate that, from cadets, officer, approach a senior and be like, hey, I feel like I might need more training on this. Speak to us.
100%.
Lethal is our strongest means to end anything.
Strongest means in the last resort.
Yep.
Lenny.
Sure, yeah, sure. Sure, I have been recently informed that we do not have qualified immunity. Are we working together in order to figure out a way to give ourselves that, perhaps by staging certain events that would allow us to have that judicial-wise?
We ain't got qualified immunity.
Wait, we don't have qualified immunity?
I was under the impression we had it.
I've been under the assumption that we do.
Yeah, I
Dakota,
thought
would
we
you
did
like to come up
too.
here and speak on that in any way, shape, or form?
So I can speak on it.
Well, first I
Oh,
want to hear
thought-
Dakota. I'd like to hear Dakota.
no, I thought he
Dakota,
was.
and then
I
Cody,
thought he
you can
was.
speak on it afterwards.
Yeah, no,
since you're
Dakota,
blue.
Dakota, go ahead. I thought
Be the
maybe you was
liaison. Woo!
Law liaison.
Okay.
Yeah. Dakota.
Lenny,
Turn.
can you expand on that a little bit? Did someone tell you that? Where'd you hear that from?
I just heard it from some guy.
Lost.
Come on.
I was like, hey, you better back the fuck away from my car. I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. And he said, oh, well, wouldn't want to do that without qualified immunity. And I called him a pussy.
Wait, why were you escalating?
What?
man?
What?
How did he feel about that?
It was at Mosley's, man. That place is a war zone. I was just trying to watch my back.
Did he pose
Okay,
a threat to you or something?
Maybe we do have qualified.
We can have a chat about that one after,
yeah, well-
but
Oh, yeah,
I
we
think
have
we
a-
do-
have a
we
conversation
do have
about
qualified
issues,
immunity.
right?
Okay, I could have been mistaken, but I
no
believe
problem.
I was pretty much told that exact same thing. Like, I would say like an hour ago, but that was like apparently 3 hours ago. We've been here a long time, and that was by the mayor. So
that we do or do not.
that we do not,
We do not have qualified immunity.
I mean, everything. Look,
because it's not been established yet.
Could I rebut
the-
that?
is it in writing? Because I don't really read too good.
I
so-
I have something to bring up.
What?
I went to a
Wait,
bench
please-
trial and spoke
Hold
to.
on, Flops. Please tell me you can read and write, Lenny.
I can't. I'm just not good.
That's
No, you can.
bullshit.
I've watched you read the.
No,
that's
You wrote the
bullshit.
world's longest
Thank you.
statement in the world. Don't even.
That's better
Next.
than Bob
I've
Eagle.
got a ghostwriter.
Yeah, take it away, Flop.
You
Sorry.
did a
Well, go
subpoena in
for
like
it.
2 minutes.
I went to a court case. I had a case that happened on the docket. It ended, so be it. During that court case, the mention of the Brady violation came up, and the judge that was presiding had stated that there is no such thing as a Brady violation. In the same context, I went to a bench trial weeks after, unrelated to that case, and that judge told me that, yeah, there's no Brady violation on paper. Doesn't mean I'm not going to acknowledge it. I've had conflicting statements regarding what is and isn't in our Department of Justice. I don't know if we have qualified immunity. If we're being told we don't, that's one thing. But we also don't have anything in writing about the Brady violation. But I've also been told by 2 different judges that one says no, one says yes.
Wait, what's clarified immunity?
Qualified.
That's when you separate the fats from the impurities in the butter.
Pretty much.
It's
That's it.
you know,
That clarified immunity. Oh, sorry.
Do we? Can we find out?
I will get
Yes.
clarity on it for
Yeah.
you. Yes.
Thank you.
well,
Thanks,
well-
Dakota.
I don't want to have to
you,
hesitate
Dakota.
to put one. between
I
your
understand,
eyes.
Lenny. I hear you loud and clear. I got you.
Thank you, sir.
any other questions?
So
You can ask anything.
okay.
forward.
So as far as the qualified immunity thing goes, the answer that I've heard so far is we have an assumed qualified immunity right now, but it's not written. It's not
I'm gonna-
specifically written into anything.
I'm gonna
So-
go ahead and say that we do.
Yeah, we.
And
So
let's not let the public know.
Yeah.
No. I think we need this in writing.
We need something in writing.
Yeah, no.
well,
I,
we know.
I
So
think it has to be in legislation if it's going to be, acted upon, right?
right.
Correct.
So this is something that I mean. Again, this is from my lawyering experience from last week. Qualified immunity is not something that's actually written down on paper anywhere right now. And even though it's not, it's an assumed qualified immunity. So I know Xavier Monroe was someone who was trying to get some push to get this done. Declan, has your grandfather talked to you about it at dinner table or anything? Or
I haven't talked to him in years.
oh, okay, never mind.
He got disowned. Sorry.
Who's your grandfather?
Crane.
Chief Justice Crane?
Yep.
Does he know that you're a huge weeb?
Yeah, I took the money he gave me for law school tuition and absconded to Japan.
Oh, how does he feel about that?
Probably not great, but I don't care. I am the main character.
What a rebel.
Okay.
All right. We'll get clarification on that and hopefully get something in writing. And Nakota will pursue that.
I have a question, but it's for the group in general. Is there anything?
Devlin has a question too as well afterwards.
Is there anything you would like to see? I want to say us as command, but also the PD in general do better.
Delegation.
Agree.
Delegation in regards to, let's say, what, command in general or the PD in general?
I just don't want to have to bug a captain to approve my warrants. That's all.
That might be fixed here in a week, Lenny.
When I say delegation, I'm talking responsibility falling more on others internally. I'm not talking about outside. I'm talking about more within the PD. I think delegation would be very healthy. I think part of that does come with chain of command. I think part of it comes with opening up. Maybe I've even suggested something along the lines of a PNT, something to hopefully alleviate stress from the top and allowing others to hopefully take on some burden. I think it would definitely do some very healthy impact to the PD.
I will say just
the PNT.
Yeah, I will back up. Slacks is pretty much. I mean, I'm just gonna speak from shift 2. It's pretty much put it on the seniors to be like, hey, you guys are gonna be interviewing people. Get me a full list of names. You're gonna be like, when it comes to the hiring in regards to shift 2 FTO and all that, we've been
no questions asked.
The,
delegation is our biggest problem.
Steering wheel to that, and he's opened up more delegation and allowing seniors to do that.
Yeah, which is the direction all shifts are going.
Yeah, seniors are run academies basically, right? They're going to be basically the folks running these academies, so it makes sense to go through them as far as that. Now, as far as PNT, when it comes to it, I'll give you my honest opinion. I think having a department focus on that creates, sometimes a culture where only certain folks that know certain people get hired and friends get hired, instead of having a captain or members of high command know exactly who's being brought into the police department to understand who they are, their personality, how they fit in with us, and the culture we're trying to build.
Anything else? Anybody else feels like we can do questions like, hey, we can do this better. What if we streamline this?
Declan.
Brain?
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you, Senpai, for offering us the opportunity to ask anything on our mind. I was wondering if anyone else thinks that Trey's Kushranada is overlooked as an antagonist. It's like he never gets mentioned alongside like Johan Liebert or Griffith or Shogo Makashima or Dio Brando. But he's
Who are you talking about?
Objection.
What are you talking about?
Objection. Weeb.
About cartoons.
What in the fuck are you talking about?
I have an answer. I think all of us.
Yeah, he's trapped in this Gundam Wing universe with all these.
Here's the reality.
It's like a teeny bob thing, but he's like
All of us agree
no
with
one
it.
said captains
We all
can't be the
agree,
final
yeah.
say in something, but
I'm very
interviewing and
confused with what's
training,
going on
I've been
here.
watching the Elf. You
stuff like
recommended,
that
okay? It's pretty good.
should absolutely not fall on the on
on
captains.
Oh,
No.
yeah, that one is good.
call them
Declan, if
training
you're gonna
arcs.
bring up one of the shows you watch, could you at least do Gilmore Girls?
Huh?
That's one of my favorite animes.
You've watched
No,
anime?
mine's Bobby in the House.
All right.
Corey.
Let's run
That's
this
a
back
Raven
in, all right.
now.
I'm not sure what language. What do you? Forte?
Japanese
Turner, they're
cartoons.
talking about like
Japanese senpai.
Japanese like cartoons.
Back in my day, this guy's head would be in a fucking toilet bowl by now.
Okay.
Back in my day.
He's not wrong.
Forte, go for it.
There's an obvious morale and retention issue across the PD. What are the supervisor and command's next steps to fix those issues?
Identifying the issues would definitely be a place to start.
What we're doing right now is also step number 1, right? Trying to open that dialogue.
Absolutely.
So-
For me in shift 2, I've gone up to, or I've started to call every single individual officer and PPO and non-solo cadet to talk to me one-on-one and see what they want to do in the police department. That way I can try and empower them in those positions and try and get them going in the right direction for what they want to do.
For me, in regards to morale, when someone this is gonna sound silly, when it's like, you know, back when you were a kid, back in school, and someone, when you would do a good job, your teacher would give you a gold star, you know, and back when you were younger, that'd be like, hell yeah, you know, I did well. Something clicked in my brain weeks ago, months now, I guess at this point, where it's, if someone does a good job, that shit should be hyped up to the moon. When someone gets someone in a 90, when someone gets a 95 in a custody, considering someone breaks cuffs 9 times in a goddamn row, when someone gets someone in the cuffs, someone lands a spike, someone gets in a good pit, when somebody like locks in an investigation, that stuff needs to be hyped up internally in the PD, because let's be honest, we take a lot of L's, and that's fine. That is not part of PD life. That's life. You win some, you lose some. The L's, that's whatever. You brush them off. But the wins need to be like, fuck yes. We just did like a 30-minute pursuit. We had everybody locked in. Comms were locked in. Pits were locked in. Spikes were locked in. Foot pursuit was locked in. When
Nikita,
people
that's not entirely
do
true.
a good job and get that
We're aware
reward,
of this in Shift 3.
people need to be reminded that, yeah, we did a good job. And yes, it's a very
I don't
simple,
think dropping training on the seniors,
simple-minded fix to a big problem, but we're all human beings, and when we do a good job, we want somebody to be like, fuck yeah, you did a good job. And personally, I respond well to that. And I had a day where I was like, morale is in the toilet. And I gave myself a task where I was like, I'm going to hunt down. I actually remember very clearly. Cornwood responded to a bunch of G6 robberies. And he was getting raw dogged by a bunch of Australians in clubs. They bent him over the side of the club and were like, you're my little bitch boy. Little piggy boy, why don't you oink for me?
It wasn't.
And
no.
he started oinking. He started oinking. Squealing away. And they spanked his little bare bottom. And he was like, please. And I was like, this is fucked up. So the next day I woke up, I got on Main Freak, got in Shift 2, and my goal was, we are going to put these guys behind bars. And we did exactly that. And not only did we do that, we did it twice. And with
the shirt off.
When we got them in the bars, I hyped it up, because morale, when we take a bunch of L's back to back to back, that shit is demoralizing. So when you get on there and someone actually succeeds, hype that shit up. Give yourself a task and push as much as you want to accomplish it. Like with Lenny in the back.
Was success for sure.
Like with Lenny in the back approaching 37 Charlies. That's his goal. And I guarantee when he does it, he loves that shit.
Yeah.
Right. And we should rally behind him when he does a good job.
I have a suggestion, sirs, if it's okay.
Oh.
Why don't we take turns hyping up?
Oh, it's a little nice like icebreaker. I like it.
Yeah, let's start with Slacks. Hype me up for fucking pitting a guy into a wall.
Jesus Christ.
Good job, lady. Good fucking work.
Yeah.
Hold on, if that happens on the radio, I'm gonna be like, yo, Slacks, you good status? What the fuck's going on? You got shot at right now.
I'm not.
Let's fucking go, Lenny.
Yeah, Captain Turner.
Good bit, Lenny. Well done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take a rain check, guys. I can't get loud.
Hell yeah, brother! All right, Bones, give me your best not loud hype moment.
Hey, good shit, Lenny. That was sick. That was some good shit back there.
I also got a rage check. I can't afford a noise complaint, but good shit, Lenny. I'm proud of you. That's good.
Hell yeah, you just fucking killed that guy, Lenny. Good shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I'm a big fan of saying that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
But like, we
Nice.
I'm gonna add on to that and just be like, we as officers, we go out there and we take a lot of fucking shit.
And take a lot of crap, yeah.
We take a lot of crap. You know, well, at the end of the day, we are normally viewed as the fun police. We are ending people's like, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. You're getting in the way of me doing this. You take a lot of shit, and that's why I think it's very important when we as PD officers succeed internally, we hype that shit up.
McNulty,
I'm gonna be the hype
Yep.
man whenever I'm on radio.
were you aware that that all these other jobs out in the city, them bosses be giving out gold stars to people? I did
Yeah.
group 6 for one day, and I was told if I continue, I'm gonna keep getting gold stars. I never been told that in the police department.
I didn't know that until my partner was like, oh my, you know, Joey down at towing, I'm nearly at max gold stars. I was like, what?
Bro,
They're
you
like,
want
oh,
laps? instead
yeah,
of
he likes me a lot. I'm nearly at max gold stars.
do I
I'm
want
like,
what?
I'm like, what?
Winning action points instead of this point action points.
No, we don't need WAPs.
No, I don't want a WAP.
WAPs. It's WAP. It's WAP, guys.
WAPs.
No, it's not a WAP. It's a WAP.
But like
it's a WAP.
as funny as that is, I
currency.
This is all I
genuinely
thought
just
about.
want people to be like, when you are on a pursuit, whether there's no seniors, hype that shit up.
You
So
know,
like, you may not be hip to this.
You know, I don't mind.
WAP stands for wet ass
What?
pussy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure, who's
Hold
okay?
on, hold on.
Okay, how about we do an actual police work?
how about you know?
Turner, it stands for wet ass pussy.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does.
It's a song.
it
It's a
does.
song.
Somebody check on her, please, over there. Somebody check on
Sawyer,
her.
are you okay?
Oh my god!
What? Is she okay?
Hell yeah, Sawyer! That's what I'm talking about. See what I mean, guys?
This meeting might have went on a little too long.
Yeah, when you EMS down here, she's food in her mouth.
EMS 105.
Oh God.
Make it drop. You know,
Just
you
like-
guys know that. You guys know that
There's
song.
no EMS on duty right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if we
Maybe
go the
we'll get
gold
back on our
star
feet
route, I
and
hope
then
we can get some
start.
bigger spike
in this
strips
house.
if we get enough
There's
gold
some
stars.
whores in this house.
There is
I
some
did it.
hoe
That's
in
what
the
you
house.
This
Right there
house.
for you.
Hold on. We don't.
Oh,
Abu wanted to get. Hold on. Abu wanted to give a 2-minute
Gotcha.
speech.
It's
Oh,
too
yeah,
late
Boo.
for that, brother.
No,
I'm
you
gonna
got this.
put everyone
No,
to
you
sleep.
got this.
Yeah, come on.
Bro, you
No,
want this?
Abu,
You guys
get
want
up
speech?
here.
this.
All right,
You
all right.
said
Come on.
I have a speech. You're giving
Speech
a
time,
speech.
everybody. Speech time.
After a boo, I think we send this off with one final finale.
I don't like pizza.
But go ahead.
Go ahead, Abu.
Hello.
Abu's
is this
65 years
Nico?
old, by
I
the
don't like
way,
pizza.
and is
Here.
like 1
I
foot in
can't
the
get the
grave. By
fucking
the way,
image to work.
And somehow looks
I'll
like
take a break.
Saul Policeman in his prime. How'd that
Thank you
work?
very much. Thank you very much. Hey, is this microphone here working? Everyone hearing me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear.
Yeah.
It's called a microphone.
That's right, the microphone. Correct. All right. So to start off, my name is Abu Jafar. I am cadet with the LSBD.
I love
Hello,
For
Abu.
those who don't knowing me, it's a pleasure meeting. How is everyone doing today, huh?
Hell yeah, good.
Okay. I'm going through it.
All right, that's good. Hey, so I've been noticing recently, tensions are a little bit high. It's all good, it's happening, right? But I want everyone here in this room to look to your left and then look to your right and tell me what you're seeing, huh?
Captain Turner staring at me.
A brother and a sister.
Empty
Cornwood's
chair.
ass and
Wait, who said that? Who said the brother and the sister?
Me.
All right, there you go. That's the answer I was looking for. See, brother and sister, right? We're not just co-workers here. We're not just fellow officers, right? We are the big family, correct?
I make love to my sister.
Oh God. Lenny.
Oh,
All right.
Hey, who doesn't?
Hey, whatever
Make
floating
love to
your
his
boat,
sister
all
is
right?
what I meant.
oh.
Anyways, we are one big. Anyways, we are one big family here, right? And like Vin Diesel said, there is nothing stronger than family, correct?
Family.
Amen.
Family.
Correct.
Except steel
So-
beams.
It's gonna be 60K from each of you.
Yeah.
Steel beams.
Abu, you realize
Not out loud confirming that I'm
It's
related
gonna be
to anyone here.
60K.
Also, guys, really quick, right? It's like respect is like a someone that's bisexual, right? It goes both ways. So if
Oh, like the
sorry-
lady in the bee movie that has sex with a bee?
Correct. So make sure you're doing
Oh,
respect,
God.
giving respect, taking respect goes both ways. It's very, very, very important to have a very good, high-functioning police department while everyone is doing the respecting each other, right? So pretty much with respecting, with the love, and with the family, we can grow like a big tree with multiple branches They all work together, right? So keep up the branches. So
Don't say
everyone.
branches too loud. Cornwood will start crying.
All right. Well, a big tree has a lot of branches, and but
Stop
it
saying-
all is strong, right? Anyways,
oh, whoa.
God damn it, Cludish.
Sorry, it's my indigestion.
Anyways, I